Hey everybody, I'm actually going to do a take two on this. Last time I recorded this live session, it was actually, tried doing it the other way, landscape, that's what it's called. But that was a bad idea. So I'm just going to re-record this. If you joined before, thanks, hang out. But yeah, the last recording, it's just not record well. So anyways, this is take two. I should actually not stumble as bad as I did through the last one anyway. This one will go a little bit more smoother. So anyway, so this week or today, what I'm doing is I'm just going to talk about a couple books that are up for Final Order Cutoff. Final Order Cutoff is basically the time where it happens every Monday at midnight, where retailers have to have their final orders in for books that are being released within the next couple of weeks. It's kind of weird because of Christmas and everything. The dates are off on these. Usually it's 3 weeks in the future, but I've seen release dates for the 11th, the 18th, and even Christmas Day with some books. So just because the cutoff is this week doesn't mean all the books are going to be released on the same day. With that being said, I'm just going to go through the 3 books that I want to highlight or touch on that I'm looking forward to reading. I'm not necessarily trying to sell books here. I just want to tell you what I personally am looking forward to what's coming out. First one is Guardians of the Galaxy number 12. So I was reading when I was putting up the items for the solicitations, or for the pre-sales. I was reading the solicitations, and there were a couple that caught my eye. This is one of them. It says, "The faithless storyline ends here. Thanos wins, Cosmic Ghost Rider, the death of the Inhumans, Silver Surfer Black, and Guardians of the Galaxy. It's all been leading to this, but it doesn't tell you what this is." So I'm really curious to find out how all these are going to be tied together and what actually this really is. So I'm a huge Johnny Cates fan. I'm going to go back and I'm going to reread a lot of this story arcs that I just mentioned, just because I forget kind of immediately what a lot of them what happened in a lot of them. So I'm gonna go back and check that out, and then I'm just gonna wait until this book comes out to dive into it and see where it's going. So the next one I'm gonna talk about is Venom 21. This book has also been highly anticipated. A couple months ago, the Clayton Crane variant art came out for it. Everybody saw that they're gonna bring Venom Island back. And that's all that the solicitation really says is Venom Island begins here, enough said. So it's been highly anticipated. It's been on people's radar, so I don't really expect a lot of speculation value out of it, other than the fact that it's a really cool Clayton Crane art, and who knows where the story is going to go. So so yeah, but if you do want to play the spec game on this one, there are some ingredients. I always talk about, you know, the cupcakes. You got to get that delicious cupcake. You got to have the right ingredients, right? So this one actually has a couple of really good ingredients, particularly with the ratio variant covers. All right, so there's a 1 in 125 and a 1 in 50. Now the ingredients I talk about, and if you listen to my previous discussions on speculation, is the Final Order Cutoff is something to pay attention to, because if the cover art is not released the Friday of, the weekend of, which is when I put the listings up, and even better if you're in the spec game, if it's not released either until late Monday or even after cutoff in general, those are good books to kind of keep an eye on, and to even maybe buy a copy or two before cutoff just to sit on, because I know one of them is going to be a Mark Bagley cover, and anytime Mark Bagley does a ratio cover, they usually tend to at least hold their value. If you look at the 1 in 100, even from Absolute Carnage, there's a lot of those out there, but I still sell a lot of them, and the value of them are still there despite so many copies. I think it's just because there's a lot of Mark Bagley fans. So keep an eye on that one in particular. I think that's actually the 1 in 25, the lower ratio. There's a 1 in 50. I can't remember who the artist is, but it's also a very good artist. But yeah, so keep an eye on those. And then the last one, the Project Christmas 1 cover, well, not necessarily cover A, because none of the covers arts have been released yet, but the cover A art is just like, looks like a Christmas gift. Guarantee that's not the final cover. But what caught my attention, at least from the solicitation, this is what it says: Mark Millar and Netflix have teamed up to give you the perfect Christmas gift, the sequel to one of the most beloved Millar World projects since the dawn of time. That's pretty it set some pretty lofty expectations, but just like the Venom 21, it doesn't really say it's going to be a surprise, and it even says in the solicitation, they even call it a surprise. It says, the surprise when you open the delivery boxes, you're in for a nice surprise when you open the delivery boxes on December 18th. So obviously this one's released December 18th, the week before Christmas. But who knows what's going to happen. Obviously, Millar World's part of Netflix, and who knows if they're going to have something released that ties in with that. I don't know. Seems like it's pretty good marketing saying we're going to surprise you with something, but you just have to give us your money first, right? So, well, with that being said, I don't know exactly how available these are going to be, if shops are going to take the risk of buying a bunch of these, or if it's just going to be brilliant marketing and everybody's going to eat them up. It's just too soon to tell. I personally, I believe I've sold a good amount of these already as pre-sale. Like I said, I'm not trying to push these. In fact, I want you to go, I always say go to your LCS first, even though I'm an online retailer, but LCSs provide a vital role in our culture and keeping it alive. I mean, it's not just a place to buy your books, but, you know, when you walk into your LCS, everybody's talking about, especially hot books, like what's going on, this or that. So it plays, they play a vital role in our culture. So I like to keep their doors open. So go get these books from your LCS first. If you don't want to go out in the cold, if you're like me, feel free to order them online. Or if you don't have an LCS near you, you know, order them online. But yeah. Trying to keep these short, so I'm gonna bounce now. But thank you for joining. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Critique this. Tell me what I can do better, or if there's something that that you'd like me to talk about. So either one. Appreciate it, everybody. Thank you for your time, and have a great weekend.